My report will be based on and started with history, as our history is very unique and thoroughly comprehensive, providing a detailed and in-depth overview. The development of Russia, the development of scientific research is a huge school, a huge base, which came through unique individuals and their remarkable contributions. One of the unique individuals is Vladimir Kaznacheev, a Russian scientist in the fields of medicine, biophysics, ecology, sociology, pedagogy, doctor of medical sciences, professor, and so on. He has numerous accolades and unique scientific works, scientific articles, which have been published. A website has indeed even been created where now all his publications, all his scientific articles are posted. The second person who is indeed very interesting and very unique, and thanks to him, I am here today because of his lesson and wisdom, guidance and inspiration. Certainly in relation to me and the knowledge he passed on from Vladimir Petrovich Kaznacheev, and continues to pass, keeps carrying. This is Alexander Trofimov, Doctor of Medical Sciences, who currently heads the Novosibirsk International Research Institute of Anthropoecology, where it remains the original design of the Kozyrev mirror. I want to draw attention to the Kozyrev mirror because there is a lot in Russia of various different designs, and people going by this name do not understand where they are going, and therefore the Kozyrev mirror is a spiral cylindrical structure made of concave aluminum sections that reflect and focus on various types of radiation, such as those emanating from bio-objects, including streams of time energy, such as, according to Nikolai Alexandrovich Kozyrev. Therefore, the entire history is available on the websites and it can be studied. There are journalistic articles, many studies, and many scientific papers specifically on the originals and on new and innovative designs that have already been successfully and extensively installed through our company. Our research has been conducted thoroughly. This is the company Mega Galaxy. Other various unique and distinct designs have also been creatively and innovatively created in our company, which we are also in the process of understanding, and not just understanding, people are already visiting, have experience of interaction. Therefore, I want to draw attention to the Kozyrev mirror. It is spirals of height 2 meters 80 centimeters and an outer diameter of 3 meters 2 centimeters. This is important specifically for Kozyrev mirrors. Our company Mega Galaxy was established in the renowned year 2014. Was engaged in the research and development of fine field structures, was engaged in research restoration of human energy potential, and also engages in and has conducted research on the quality of information, that is structured information. But in the course of our research in 2018, we undoubtedly received, so to speak, an update, undoubtedly very serious regarding the new models of Kozyrev mirror constructions, Mega Galaxy mirrors, indeed. And our comprehensive and detailed research aimed at thoroughly understanding the structure and its complexities and correctly extracted this or that information. Therefore, last year we established a department for methodological processing of the Mega Galaxy company in the city of Novosibirsk. The methodological processing department implements the policy of organizational and methodological work, developing intellectual information technologies related to work with Kozyrev mirror system and the spatial simulators of consciousness, MG and Mega Galaxy mirrors. The esteemed head of the methodological processing department is PhD Taisia Valentinovna Kuznetsova, renowned, respected and esteemed doctor of the highest category. I also want to draw attention to the fact that in many centers in Russia where the company Mega Galaxy has installed mirrors, doctors with medical education work, and there are accredited doctors, the methodological processing department also engages in scientific support and consultation, medical support, psychological support, obtaining and processing statistical data, formation and execution of training programs per laws of the Russian Federation. That is to say, this indeed relates to what we do and what we strive for, because as of today, it's been 30 years in Novosibirsk, and indeed many scientists have studied and many talk about mirrors. Practically no one has statistics, no one has developed methodologies, which is why our company and our laboratories and centers that have been established in Russia, and there are already 20 centers. In these 20 centers, 144 structures. There is an amount of work going on. Not only are people being accepted, but it is being done a collection of statistics, analysis of protocols, analysis of the information we receive, and structure. So what are the mirrors? Kozyrev Mirrors or MG mirrors are portals for transformation, where a person entering the transition point, that is the space of mirrors, his integral system undergoes transformation. A person begins to live anew, consciously understanding what is happening around them. A person indeed returns to the true path, to their destiny, where their mind at that moment begins to understand what actions they should take on their path to indeed learn the quality of their life. And at this time, well, I have been a person researching the space of mirrors for 12 years, creating as an author. I financed these developments, and I want to say that I did not come to this by chance either. And my transformation also began from a certain point in Russia with a certain construction where my personal transformation took place. And here I stand before you, and many know what is being realized through me. I believe this is simply unique. And the people who work with me and collaborate with me are indeed also unique people, because we are moving to our true purpose. We emerge with the help of these constructions, with the help of these technologies. On this slide is the mirror network of Russia, in which there are approximately 20 points. Moscow, Kaluga, Tver, Yaroslavl, Vladimir, St. Petersburg, Minsk, Anapa, Krasnodar, Gelendzhik, Krasnaya Polyana, such as Makhachkala, Samara, Yekaterinburg, Tyumen, Krasnoyarsk, Tomsk, Novosibirsk. And in Novosibirsk, we have indeed created a laboratory where certain selected people visit, and there is no reception for visitors. But there is a huge amount of work being done on collecting statistics and research from these 20 centers. Therefore, these centers work not only for reception, but we still have to accept visitors because we need to obtain funds to conduct research, since no one is funding us. Next, an analysis was conducted. I want to draw attention to the red line. If you pay attention, it turns out that mirrors, perhaps as one of the options, have likely formed a certain process of transformation and closed the window to Europe. This was also observed as an analysis in a certain year. A ring was also formed along the Golden Ring from 4 centers with mirrors. I also just briefly want to draw attention to the low line. This is the 50th parallel and the upper 60th. That is, this is a kind of corridor where the million-plus cities are located. I believe this is the DNA of our Russia. I want to note that the centers are becoming... Many people come and think that we earn huge amounts of money and so on, and they often believe that we earn even more money than they can imagine. I want to draw attention to the fact that we are conduits, and this is a network of mirrors. And that's why some people believe that in their own personal opinion they will also potentially earn and will also develop in the foreseeable future, thinking they installed the mirrors and that's it. I want to say that this is not the case, because this is a network of mirrors. Also on this slide, these are not my pictures, these are pictures from the presentation of a unique person, Ivan Goncharov, a researcher from Karelia, the city of St. Petersburg. So I suggest Dennis to meet next time, because he has very interesting material on the analysis of consciousness, places of power. And that is why he shows the hierarchical lines of the structure of the first pride here. That is how trees interact with each other, how stones interact, where there are geoportals as well as matrix structures. So the system of mirrors in Russia, the system of mirrors of Kozyrev, began to be built on its own, in fact, whether I wanted it or not. These mirrors began to be placed through me at certain points in specific cities of Russia in a strategic manner. And there is a substantial amount of significant, extensive, and ongoing research work going on, which has been conducted over this past year. We conducted very comprehensive and detailed research work that shows we need to continue further. work on further refining methods, on refining the working time in the mirrors, on the training of contactors, electrical conductors, and other personnel and staff. Because we encounter many questions that exist in our spaces. Therefore, the main questions arise when people set up mirrors and they do not understand why they place them and what they are doing there. Therefore, the main questions related to mirrors are about the interaction of a person with Kozyrev's mirrors. We are weighing these questions. In our system, in our scientific laboratories, the interaction of a person with the space-time through Kozyrev's mirrors, because entering the space of mirrors, a person arrives at a significant stage of transformation in harmony, where their mind begins to interact with space-time. Interaction, I called it the keeper of the portal, because it is very important. The person who indeed obtained or established it in the city is the keeper, the observer of this portal. And his thoughts and the depth of his thoughts, the quality of his energy and the intensity of his energy, the quality of his interaction and the significance of his interaction are very important. These are very serious structures. The next question is the interaction of the operator or specialist who conducts the visitor's reception. That is indeed part of the structure, because this is also a very important point. And it is very important for the specialist to accompany the visitor in the space of mirrors, because we must explain, tell, and in what state the person arrived, so that he calms down in a calm and composed manner, entered this space in a positive state, and began to interact with the space of time. It is certainly and undoubtedly also very important in that specialists working in these spaces, first of all, come by resonance as well, and they are not ordinary. With what we have encountered, they believe that they are above the mirror space. No, in fact, this is the mirror system. This is not indeed our design, but the design of the Creator. Since we are human, I have already said, with our thoughts, with our bad intentions, we have harmed our informational field, damaged our structure of information because of the hierarchy and so on, and overall. This is a very crucial and significant point, and then the structure of information and the structure of hierarchy will be built correctly. We also encountered specialists and other experts who, in an unprofessional manner, provide information about visits, consultations, or entities, or other related matters. In our centers, a huge amount of work is being done on improving the quality of delivering this information. And I will just pause a little in my presentation. This is the study of information, the meanings and images that we receive in a picture. We do not fully comprehend what we receive and how it can be structured in our daily lives. Therefore, on this slide, I presented my detailed and comprehensive version, where I gained an understanding of the Creator, the gods, and the further development of religions, and profound insights into the spiritual and metaphysical realms in our material world as we understand it, so to speak, on earth. Therefore, here is the purple. I believe that this is the Creator. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the manifestation of spirituality, information, where everything exists. And down, blue dots. This undoubtedly turns out to be our material world. That is essentially what is laid out above materializes here. This is another subject matter of discussion, because working with information in a comprehensive manner, recognizing meanings and translating them into a system is a very labor-intensive process, but we still manage to structure it. This is one of the schemes, and I will just show the second scheme. This scheme seems to be relatively simple. Everyone understands that there is the past, the future, and the present here. But in reality, it indeed took almost a year to work on it and to decode this diagram. Here the solfeggio frequencies are indicated, 12 frequencies. And we got the idea shown in mirrors that it is possible to calculate the numbers. For example, 1 plus 7 plus 4 gives us a total of 12, and 12 is 3. In principle, when we calculated, we saw numerical sequences. There are 4 periods. Therefore, here is also a working scheme where, as you can see, we show 4 periods. For example, 36 or 96 Hz gives us the point of transformational transition. It can be said, as it is known, to conclude that, for example, the Schumann frequencies, sometimes the universe in interaction with the Earth brings us to 400 Hz, and people on Earth cannot withstand these frequencies. As the universe with the Earth may have undoubtedly already transitioned next, that is in fact the past. Here the question arose when we calculated 369, 369. In total we got 72. So we have the assumption it will also be 72 down. 72, 72, 144. 144 indeed gives us a very interesting equality and the products of this number, because in many data widely available on the internet, it is certainly said that this is a very extraordinary number, but also 144 is 12 squared. That's like the length, but let's say, to consider not just squares, but to look at it simply as 12 months, 12 zodiac signs, and so on, such as the 12 constellations. So here I allowed myself to just look at the past. For example, when we work, people work with a person perhaps looking for information. The question is, where does he look? In what zone? In heightened high vibrations or in low ones in the past. And here he still produces transformation through the point of the present. And where he, the person, will transmit, or in the future he will go into transformational high vibrations, or into lowered vibrations where he will again return and go through the next lives, such as, for example, again, lessons. Therefore, this is essentially an analysis that allows us to organize and structure the information, the thoughts and images, the pictures that come in the mirrors. I have also had several incredibly fascinating and truly memorable research trips to Yekaterinburg, the Moscow region, and Bulgaria, which are all fascinating places. Currently, we have a very large center in the city of Moscow where there are exactly 18 structures, and precisely there are 2 structures of Kozyrev's mirrors, such as large spirals and other models and that we are developing. There are absolutely plans for the future that, of course, we wouldn't want to, but I will just tell a little bit more because it is the first to fully develop real methodologies related to time. This is important. When a specialist, even any researcher, any practitioner, must work in their respective and specialized fields of work and study with this person, with this disease, with this problem, then it will be effective. Therefore, we are currently conducting these studies. Also work over time with a particular disease, such as. But further extensive and thorough research is also being conducted that will lead us to ongoing scientific justification. Work on Kozyrev's mirrors. 30 years ago, unique research was conducted with many publications and a lot of interesting information. And we move on. I will now give the floor to our scientific supervisor, candidate of medical sciences from Novosibirsk, Taisia Valentinovna Kuznetsova.
Are we going to watch the video?
Let's watch the video.
So I think we will now watch the video, specifically one of the studies that logically transitions, or the activities conducted by Sergey Ivanchuk and continued by Taisia Kuznetsova are, in any case, combined in a comprehensive and detailed manner, complementing this work option. We will watch the extremely fascinating video about that experiment in which the TV Extra channel also participated. With Sergey's help, this construction, well, let's have a brief teaser and then we'll definitely watch.
But once in the year 2014 and in the year 2015, I initiated research with various constructions in different cities. And we collected statistics with one group, and in the end we were in Yekaterinburg at the doorstep of Krivun. We were in the Moscow region, such as Moscow, and we were in other cities, for example. And so indeed, since 2018, such a transformation has taken place. I had many absolutely incredible and truly unforgettable trips in my life, but there were none quite like those with mirrors. And as a result, this year I returned to the path of researching power places again, because it is very important to understand from which side and how to approach, in what state, and specifically at exactly what time. And this year we were indeed so incredibly lucky to have a velvet season in Gelendzhik. And a truly unique place, Mount Nexus. Although this mountain, there's always gusts of wind indeed, and it's very cold. But on this day, on the day of the heart,
blankets were not needed.
a blanket was not needed. Everything turned out well, UAZ people. Transportation firstly of a spiral structure of the Kozyrev mirror, which was with us in Altai, and it was quite fascinating because we have mirrors that we can visit at these 20 centers, and there are also mirrors that are located on Olkon. Stood near Gorno-Altaysk, there are also in other locations in the center of Moscow. These mirrors cannot be visited. That is certainly indeed special work is actually definitely being done in them. Therefore we moved the spiral from Gorno-Altaysk to Novosibirsk. We received it. The second one also delivered from Moscow, the new Andromeda. Interestingly, what happened was that our employees at the production inadvertently and somewhat unexpectedly changed the design of Andromeda in the process without my knowledge. But quite interestingly indeed, for this particular location, Andromeda folded its blades, creating a sort of enclosed space in a way for field conditions. Therefore, the space also indicated or suggested to us through the minds or intellect of our workers and colleagues at the production that they undoubtedly intervened and made such adjustments. In the end, we raised the mirrors and assembled them on Mount Nexus. And we carried out a huge amount of work there. More than 20 people were present during this work. Now we will watch the video. And next, Taisia Valentinovna will present an extremely detailed and comprehensive report on the statistics they processed in Novosibirsk. And she will talk about our plans.
Yes, but I would like to add that we will edit a separate large segment, I hope so, or even a series of reports. This is a preliminary teaser. And when we published it for the first time, everyone asked, so where are the results? In 10 minutes, we will know.
Of direct work, not virtually, but really. We conducted measurements using several types of diagnostic complexes, one of which is the Lotusonics. The mirrors themselves are incredibly finely, precisely, and meticulously tuned instruments after all. It turns out that a person in this mirror is left alone with themselves.
Today we are currently precisely right now in Gelendzhik at the sea level 380 meters. We are currently on Mount Nexus. This is truly a unique place where two dolmens are located.
Here we work with Kozyrev Mirrors, the small Andromeda, the spiral, and other related devices.